So I don't have any particularly deep thoughts about Utterance From Below. This is a split LP from Night Hag and Burial, and these are two death doom metal bands who are uh, modern day groups in a very classic style. And Night Hag is from Virginia in the United States. Burial is from, I would say, generally the Tuscany area of Italy, and they are quite different bands that lend a similar atmosphere to their work. So what I'll do is I'll preview a song here from Night Hag because this is sort of my preference for between the two groups, and I'll kind of get to describing what the differences are here. Essentially, Night Hag are an autopsy-influenced death doom metal band, have been likened to Hooded Menace and a lot of other old school kind of death doom influenced things over the years. Now, they don't fully lean into doom metal riffs in such a direct degree that you would compare them to At the Heart of Winter or something like that, but it's certainly an old school death metal band in style, and they're not stupid, I guess. You know, they pull off mid-paced death metal very effectively and with riffs. And I think Dead Person From You is kind of the best showing on here overall. If you're not familiar with what they'd done on Phantasmal Scourge, their 2022 debut, which I'd rated highly, and definitely check out that record if that song kind of speaks to you as a mid-paced death metal song with some doom metal riffs in there. The rest of their side of the LP is a bit slower. It shows off some of those doom metal influences, and there's more thoughts about that in the written review here. Otherwise, Burial is again an Italian band. They've been around about as long as Night Hag has, the early 2010s or so. But their style has always been more influenced by Swedish and Finnish death metal, per their own description. And the choices that I sort of made in reference were Decomposed and Ascended, which are maybe deeper cuts for some people, but think of a band like Crypts in their earlier stages from the same era, and that's kind of the idea here in terms of longer doom-influenced pieces that are driven by a very loud Boss HM2 pedal guitar sound, which is an interesting prospect when set next to a style of death doom metal that's closer to spectral voice. It's a sort of a grating and annoying sound to me, but that's because I've sort of overdone that style of death metal in terms of Swedish groups over the years. So I appreciate their songwriting and the songcraft and the style of atmospheric death metal that they're creating on this record. I didn't quite like it on their 2021 debut, but I appreciate it here on these roughly 10-minute songs because I felt they were eventful and engaging and kind of gratingly noisome in a way that contrasts well with what Night Hag does. So I think the split was really well paired in terms of the atmosphere generated and how each one does something a little bit different, but the vibe mixes well enough. I think it makes it worth getting if you're a fan of either band. Of course, I lean towards Night Hag. I think it's a pretty strong group, and that's a high recommendation for me. Go ahead and check out this record next Friday on November 10th, and go ahead and read my review for some brief thoughts on this strong album.